The colony of Ryler Prime was quiet that night, but it was the kind of quiet that felt wrong. The sky burned with distant stars, but the light from the explosions of war in nearby sectors flickered faintly on the horizon. The humans who remained on the planet were few, hiding in ruined cities and underground bunkers. Births were forbidden here, a strict law from the Galactic Council to prevent the human race from growing too strong in a galaxy ruled by powerful alien empires. But sometimes life does not wait for rules. In a small, crumbling shelter on the edge of the colony, Mira struggled to breathe. Sweat covered her pale skin, and the pain in her belly made her gasp. She had gone into labor alone, for her husband had been taken by the war months ago. The shelters were dangerous places, but she had no choice. If she tried to go to a hospital, patrols would catch her instantly. Her baby, a spark of hope in the darkness, could not wait. Outside, distant lights flickered across the sky, the hum of warships passing overhead. Myra's breathing became faster, shallow. She held her stomach and whispered to the child she had never seen. "Please survive. Please, be strong." Every sound in the ruins around her seemed magnified, the clatter of falling debris, the hum of machinery, the faint cries of other hidden humans, but she did not care. The world outside did not matter. Only the baby did. Hours passed like minutes. Mira clutched her belly as the pain grew unbearable. Her vision blurred. Then with a sharp cry the baby came into the world. Mira collapsed beside the small bundle, exhausted and trembling. The newborn's skin was pale, almost glowing under the dim light of the shelter. The baby's eyes opened slowly, searching, innocent, full of life. Myra's lips moved in a trembling smile. "You are alive," she whispered, tears running down her face. "You are everything." But the joy did not last. Outside, the distant hum of patrols grew louder. The humans hiding here were not safe, and this newborn was now a target. A human baby was forbidden. Any survivor who helped the child live would be punished by death. Mira could hear the footsteps, faint but certain. Panic gripped her. She could not let them take the baby. Not now, not ever. Then she remembered the stories, the old tales told by the elders long ago. There were creatures, ancient and powerful, who had once lived in the mountains beyond the colony. Dragons, they called them, giant beings with wings of fire and scales strong as metal. Most people thought they were gone, myths from a time before the galaxy fell into endless war. But Myra's heart knew what she had to do. With trembling arms, she wrapped the baby in a thick cloth and crawled toward the entrance of the shelter. The patrol's lights were getting closer. Her body shook with fear, but she forced herself forward. Every step felt like a lifetime. Then from the sky above the ruined city, a shadow fell. It moved with a grace that seemed impossible, silent despite its size. Mira froze, hope and fear tangled together. A massive dragon landed in the ruins. Its scales shimmered in the dim light, bronze and silver, eyes like burning gold. Mira could not believe her own eyes. The dragon lowered its enormous head and sniffed the baby in her arms. It let out a low, soft growl, almost like a promise. Mira didn't know why, but she understood. The dragon would protect the child. Before the patrols could arrive, Mira placed the baby gently into the dragon's claw. The dragon lowered its wing, shielding them both. Mira stepped back, exhausted and weak, knowing she had only seconds. The patrols reached the edge of the ruins, shouting orders, their weapons ready. But the dragon stretched its wings, enormous and strong, and with one powerful leap, it carried the baby into the sky. Mira watched until the dragon disappeared into the stars, the glow of its wings fading. She sank to the ground, tears streaming down her face, a mix of grief and hope. The baby was safe, hidden in the care of a being that had existed long before humans. Maybe, just maybe, this tiny life could survive the horrors of the galaxy. For the first time in many months, Mira smiled through her tears. The baby's journey had begun, one no human could guide. Somewhere out there, above the broken cities and burning skies, a dragon carried the child toward a secret world. A world where the baby might grow, free from the chains of the galaxy's war. And as Mira lay on the cold ground, listening to the fading hum of the patrols, she whispered to the stars, "Live, little one. Be strong. Survive. And someday, you will change everything." The dragon soared high above the ruined worlds, its enormous wings cutting through the thin atmosphere of space like knives through silk. The baby, wrapped in soft cloth, lay safe in the dragon's claws. Its tiny hands curled and uncurled, the first sparks of life untouched by the horrors of the galaxy. The dragon's golden eyes scanned the stars, searching for a place far from war, far from hunters, where the child could grow in safety. After what seemed like days, though the dragon moved faster than any human could imagine, they arrived at a hidden planet. It was a place untouched by humans or aliens, with mountains that glowed faintly at night and forests so thick the sunlight barely touched the ground. The dragon landed in a wide valley surrounded by cliffs, the wind whipping through its scales. It lowered itself carefully and placed the baby on a soft bed of moss and leaves. The child cried, tiny but strong. The dragon's deep, rumbling growl filled the valley, not frightening the baby but calming it. Slowly the baby quieted, sensing the warmth and protection around him. The dragon nudged him gently with its snout, a silent promise, "I will keep you safe." The days passed. The dragon, who had lived alone for centuries, taught the child to survive. It fed him with special herbs and fruits from the planet, mixing them with drops of a glowing liquid that made the child grow faster and stronger than ordinary humans. The baby's eyes, bright and curious, followed the dragon everywhere. By the time he could crawl, he was already stronger than a normal child. The dragon gave the child a name, Aaron. It was a simple name, easy for humans and dragons alike. Aaron learned quickly. He learned to speak, slowly at first, mimicking the dragon's low, vibrating sounds. He learned to climb rocks, to run across the valley without fear, and to sense danger long before it arrived. The dragon watched him closely, teaching him not only strength but wisdom. Aaron's favorite moments were the nights when the dragon would fly above the planet. He would cling to its scales as they moved through the clouds, the wind roaring in his ears, the stars stretching endlessly around them. From above, the child could see the galaxy in ways no human ever had. He saw the glowing trails of distant ships, the flickers of war across the stars, and he felt both small and powerful at the same time. The dragon would hum softly, a deep vibration that told stories of old times, of worlds that humans had never touched, of magic and courage and survival. Despite the peace of the hidden valley, danger was never far away. Scouts from alien empires often passed near the planet, curious about strange signals and shadows they detected from orbit. But the dragon was clever. It would hide the child under glowing crystals that acted like mirrors, reflecting the sky and confusing scanners. Sometimes it would roar, a sound so loud and terrifying that even the strongest alien ships would flee. Aaron watched these events with wide eyes, learning to read the skies, to sense threats before they arrived. As the years passed, Aaron changed. He grew taller, faster, and stronger than other humans would have at his age. His mind became sharp, learning languages, histories, and strategies from the dragon's stories. He asked questions constantly. Why are humans hunted? Why is the galaxy at war? Why do dragons hide? The dragon answered each question carefully, teaching him not only knowledge but judgment, courage, and compassion. One day, while exploring a hidden cave near the valley, Aaron found a mural carved into the stone. It showed humans, dragons, and other creatures working together long ago, fighting enemies that no longer existed. The dragon watched him quietly as Aaron traced the carvings with his fingers. "We are not the first," Aaron said softly. "But we could be the last if we fail." The dragon nodded. In that moment, Aaron understood his place in the galaxy. He was special not because he was human but because he had a chance to survive where others could not. Aaron and the dragon trained every day. The dragon taught him how to move silently, how to jump from cliffs safely, and how to read the stars to know where danger might come. Aaron learned quickly, faster than the dragon expected. He began to anticipate attacks before they happened, to think ahead, and to act with courage that surprised even the dragon. Sometimes, at night, Aaron would lie on the dragon's massive back and watch the sky. "Will I ever meet humans?" he asked softly. The dragon's golden eyes gleamed in the moonlight. "One day," it said. "When the galaxy is ready, you will show them who humans can be." The bond between them grew stronger. Aaron was not just a child. He was a student, a partner, a symbol of hope. The dragon, once alone for centuries, had found a purpose greater than anything it had known, raising the last chance for humanity in a galaxy that had forgotten them. Together they explored, trained, and dreamed, knowing that the world beyond the valley was dangerous, but also knowing that Aaron would be ready when the time came. And though the galaxy still burned with war, and though enemies searched for humans everywhere, Aaron felt safe. With the dragon by his side, he could face anything. He was no longer just a human child, he was something more, something the galaxy had never seen before. And somewhere deep inside, the spark of destiny was growing, ready to shine when the time came. Years passed on the hidden planet, and Aaron grew into a strong, intelligent boy. His body was faster and tougher than ordinary humans, and his mind sharp beyond his age. He ran across the valley, climbed cliffs, and leaped over streams as if the world itself were his playground. Yet, despite the beauty of his home, Aaron could not ignore the signs of the galaxy beyond. Sometimes, from the highest peaks he could see warships blinking like fireflies in the distance. The hum of engines, faint but constant, reminded him that humans were hunted and war was never far away. One morning, Aaron woke to find the dragon perched on a cliff above the valley, wings spread wide, eyes focused on the horizon. "What is it?" he asked, curiosity brimming in his voice. The dragon's tail flicked against the rocks. "Scouts," it said, its voice deep and calm. "They are looking for humans. Your people are in danger." Aaron frowned. He had always known that the galaxy was dangerous, but this was different. He had grown up believing the valley was a safe place, that the dragon could protect him from anything. Yet now he realized that the war was coming closer. "Can we stop them?" he asked. The dragon shook its massive head. "We can prepare. But one day you will face them yourself." That day, Aaron began to train not only his body but his mind. The dragon taught him the strategies of war, the ways of other species, and the history of the galaxy. They practiced moving silently through forests, setting traps, and observing distant enemies without being seen. Aaron learned quickly, his human instincts combining with the dragon's ancient wisdom. One afternoon, as they watched from a high cliff, a fleet of alien ships appeared in the sky. They were not close enough to attack yet, but Aaron could see their symbols clearly, empires that had hunted humans for centuries. The dragon's wings twitched, ready to take flight. "They are searching for you," it said. "Soon they will come closer." Aaron felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Fear because he had never faced enemies so powerful. Excitement because he knew he was ready in a way no other human could be. He clenched his fists, looking at the ships, and whispered, "I won't run. I won't hide. I will fight if I must." The dragon's eyes gleamed. "Good. That is the spirit of your people. Courage, intelligence, and hope, these are your greatest weapons." Days turned into weeks as the scouts grew bolder. Aaron and the dragon practiced every skill they could think of. Aaron learned to move like the wind, to strike silently, and to think ahead of his enemies. He discovered that he could sense danger before it came, a strange human instinct enhanced by the dragon's teaching. He began to understand that humans were small and fragile compared to most species in the galaxy, but clever and adaptable in ways no alien could match. One night, under the twin moons of the hidden planet, Aaron sat beside the dragon, watching the stars. "Why do they hate humans so much?" he asked. "We are weak. We should not be feared." The dragon's deep voice rumbled like distant thunder. "Humans are clever. They survive where others fail. They adapt, they learn, and they fight back when they are pushed. That is why some species fear them. They see potential, and power is always feared." Aaron nodded. He understood now that being human was not weakness. It was something special. And he felt a spark inside him, a sense that he was meant to do something greater than just survive. He was a human, yes, but also more, raised by a dragon, stronger, faster, smarter. He was different, and that difference was a gift. The first real test came unexpectedly. One morning, while exploring the forest near the cliffs, Aaron spotted a small ship that had crashed near a river. Smoke rose from its engines, and inside, a group of humans were trapped, injured, and terrified. Aaron ran to the dragon. "We have to help them," he said. The dragon hesitated. The humans were weak and could attract attention, but Aaron's voice was firm. "We can't leave them. Humans like us, they deserve a chance." Together they rescued the humans. Aaron carried the injured, while the dragon blocked the skies, roaring to scare away distant patrols. For the first time, Aaron saw the fear and suffering humans endured in the galaxy. He also saw hope in their eyes when they realized they were saved. It was the first time he truly felt connected to his own species. That night, around a small fire the dragon created with magic, the humans slept while Aaron watched over them. He realized that his life had been special, sheltered, but also lonely. Now, for the first time, he felt responsibility. These humans were fragile, but they could survive if guided. He understood that he was not just a child, not just a student of the dragon, he was a protector. And as the twin moons rose high in the sky, Aaron made a silent promise to himself. One day he would go beyond the hidden planet. He would fight for humans, protect them, and show the galaxy that humans were more than prey. They were clever, brave, and unstoppable when they dared to survive. The dragon, sensing his thoughts, lowered its head. "You are ready, Aaron," it said. "But first you must grow stronger. The galaxy is cruel, and only those who can think, fight, and endure will survive. One day your people will need you, and you will be ready." Aaron nodded, determination burning in his heart. He was no longer just a human raised in secret. He was the beginning of something new, a spark of hope in a galaxy full of war. And though the future was uncertain, he knew one thing for sure: humans would survive. The hidden planet had always been safe, a world of cliffs, forests, and quiet rivers. But that peace ended the day the enemy found them. Scouts from the alien empires moved closer, their sensors detecting unusual life forms. Aaron had always known this day would come, yet he was not afraid. He was ready. The morning began with a low hum in the sky, a sound unlike the usual winds or wildlife. Aaron climbed a cliff with the dragon beside him, his sharp eyes scanning the horizon. Smoke rose from the valley below. "They are here," the dragon said, its voice deep in warning. Aaron's heart beat faster, but he clenched his fists. He had trained for this, and now it was time. From the forest edge, a fleet of alien ships hovered, strange shapes with lights that cut through the trees. Soldiers disembarked, their weapons gleaming under the twin moons. Aaron watched them carefully. They were strong, but they moved slowly, relying on machines instead of brains. He had learned to fight, to think ahead, and to use the terrain to his advantage. "Stay close," the dragon growled, lowering its wings to shield him. "Do not attack unless necessary. Let them come." Aaron nodded, feeling the strength and wisdom of his guardian. Together, they moved silently through the cliffs and forests, watching the enemy carefully. Suddenly, a patrol spotted them. A beam of light swept the ground, landing on Aaron's hiding spot. He froze, but the dragon reacted instantly. Its roar shook the trees and sent the aliens stumbling back. Then, with a powerful leap, the dragon flew into the sky, wings spreading wide, and flames erupted from its mouth. The soldiers fired their weapons, but the dragon's scales were nearly indestructible. The sounds of metal hitting scales echoed like thunder. Aaron used the distraction to move. He ran through the undergrowth, jumping from rocks and weaving between trees. His movements were faster than any human, stronger than most soldiers. He reached the fallen scouts, human survivors he had seen before. They looked at him in awe, eyes wide. "You're a human?" one whispered. Aaron nodded. "I am. But I am not alone." The battle grew fiercer. Ships hovered above, scanning the valley, while soldiers moved below, searching. Aaron realized they could not win by hiding. They had to strike. Using the dragon's guidance, Aaron led the humans into narrow paths between cliffs. The alien soldiers could not follow easily, while Aaron and the dragon used the terrain to trap them. Rocks fell, fires spread, and confusion swept through the enemy ranks. Amid the chaos, Aaron felt a new power within himself. He had always been fast, clever, and strong, but now he began to understand strategy like no human had before. He directed the humans, teaching them how to move, when to strike, and where to hide. They began to fight back, small but fierce. The dragon roared above, flames raining down, protecting them all. One soldier broke through the ranks and aimed a weapon at Aaron. The boy dove to the side just in time, rolling across the rocks and picking up a fallen weapon. He used it with precision, disarming the soldier and sending him fleeing. His movements were sharp, fast, almost like dancing. The humans around him followed his lead, inspired by his courage. But the victory came at a cost. The enemy had called reinforcements. From the sky, massive ships descended, larger than anything Aaron had seen. The dragon growled, sensing the danger. "We cannot fight them all," it said. "We must escape." Aaron looked at the humans he had saved. Their eyes were full of hope, fear, and trust. "We cannot leave yet," he said. "We can survive if we fight smart. We will show them what humans can do." The dragon hesitated, then lowered its wings. "Very well. But you must lead carefully." Together they formed a plan. The dragon created a barrier of fire, cutting off the enemy's advance. Aaron led the humans through hidden paths, using traps, cliffs, and forests to slow the soldiers. Every move was calculated, every step thought out. Slowly the alien forces were pushed back. Some retreated, surprised by the humans' cleverness and the dragon's power. By nightfall the battle ended. The valley was scarred, but the humans were alive, and the dragon had survived. Aaron stood on a cliff, looking over the horizon. Ships still hovered in the distance, a reminder that the war was not over. But for the first time he felt hope. Humans were fragile, yes, but clever. They could fight back. They could survive. And he would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. The dragon landed beside him, smoke rising from its nostrils. "You have done well, Aaron." Today the galaxy saw humans in a way it has never seen before. Aaron nodded, his chest swelling with pride. "This is only the beginning," he said. We will survive. We will grow. And someday the galaxy will remember humans for more than weakness. As the twin moons rose, Aaron and the dragon looked toward the stars. The war was far from over and enemies would come again. But Aaron knew something no alien could understand. Humans were clever, brave, and adaptable. With courage and wisdom, even the smallest spark could start a fire that would change the galaxy forever. And in that moment Aaron felt it. A spark of destiny burning bright, promising that humans would not only survive but thrive, and that he, a human raised by a dragon, would be at the heart of it. The valley was quiet once more, though the scars of battle were clear. Trees were burned, rocks cracked, and smoke lingered in the air. Yet the humans who survived stood tall, their eyes filled with determination. Aaron looked at them, his heart swelling with pride. They were small, fragile, and scared, but clever, brave, and alive. And that was all that mattered. The dragon landed beside him, wings folding slowly. Its golden eyes scanned the horizon, alert but calm. The enemy will not forget this, it rumbled. They will return stronger with more ships, more soldiers. Aaron nodded. He had expected that. He had always known the galaxy would be cruel. Then we will be ready, he said. We will survive. We will fight smarter next time. Over the following weeks, Aaron led the humans in rebuilding their home. They repaired shelters, hunted for food, and trained under his guidance. The dragon taught them how to move quietly, to think ahead, and to use the land to their advantage. Aaron showed them tactics and strategies, using his speed, intelligence, and knowledge of the enemy to prepare them for the future. Humans, once scattered and weak, began to move with purpose and courage. Word of Aaron's victory spread, slowly at first, carried by whispers among travelers and scouts. Rumors of a human leader, protected by a dragon, reached distant worlds. Some laughed at the tales, thinking them impossible. Others were wary, wondering if the stories were true. And those who had hunted humans for centuries began to take notice. Humans, they realized, were no longer helpless prey. One day, while Aaron and the dragon patrolled the cliffs, they spotted a group of humans approaching. They were refugees, tired and hungry but filled with hope. When they saw the dragon and Aaron standing tall on the cliffs, their eyes widened in awe. They fell to their knees, not in fear but in reverence. You are human?" one whispered. Aaron smiled gently. "Yes, and we will survive. All of us." The dragon rumbled softly, nuzzling Aaron in approval. Together they welcomed the newcomers, teaching them, protecting them, and showing them that even in a galaxy filled with war, humans could thrive. Aaron realized that this was just the beginning. His home was not just the valley, not just the planet, it was the spark of a new human civilization, one that could rise stronger than ever before. As months passed, Aaron grew into a leader. He organized the humans, teaching them to work together, to think strategically, and to value courage over brute strength. They built small fleets, learned to hide from enemies, and created systems to protect themselves. Aaron knew that war was far from over, but he also knew that humans had a unique power, the ability to adapt, to learn, and to survive against all odds. The galaxy began to notice. Scouts from alien empires reported strange sightings, humans who moved with lightning speed, thought like strategists, and fought with cleverness that surprised even seasoned soldiers. Ships that had once hunted humans found themselves outsmarted at every turn. Whispers of a half-dragon human leader spread, though no one knew exactly what it meant. The dragon stayed hidden, guarding the valley, but its presence gave humans confidence, and Aaron became the symbol of their resilience. One evening, under the twin moons, Aaron stood on a cliff, the wind blowing through his hair. The dragon's eyes gleamed beside him, reflecting the stars. Aaron looked out at the horizon, where the galaxy stretched endlessly. He thought of the humans who had fallen, the colonies destroyed, and the war that still raged. And yet he felt hope. Humans were small, yes, but clever. Fragile, yes, but capable. Brave, yes, and unstoppable when guided by intelligence and courage. The dragon spoke softly, almost like a whisper. "You have done well, Aaron. Humans will survive. They will grow. And one day they may even change the galaxy." Aaron nodded. "We will survive. And we will show the galaxy that humans are more than prey. We are thinkers, fighters, and survivors. And no one will forget that again." From that cliff, Aaron could see the distant lights of other planets, the glimmers of warships in the darkness. But he did not feel fear. He felt determination. He thought of every human he had saved, every lesson he had learned, and every moment the dragon had protected him. The galaxy could be cruel, but humans were clever. Humans could adapt. Humans could survive. And Aaron would lead them to prove it. As the night grew darker, stars filling the sky, the dragon spread its wings and lifted off. Aaron watched it disappear into the heavens, a silent guardian watching over the growing human civilization. He stood alone for a moment, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the thrill of possibility. Humans had been hunted, almost wiped out, but now they had a champion. Now they had hope. Aaron whispered to the wind, to the stars, to the universe itself, "We are here. We will survive. And someday the galaxy will remember humans not for their weakness, but for their courage, their intelligence, and their will to endure. This is only the beginning." And as he looked up at the vast sky, the spark of destiny within him burned brighter than ever. The galaxy was full of dangers, yes, but it was also full of possibilities. And Aaron, human and extraordinary, would ensure that humanity would rise, stronger and wiser, ready to face whatever the stars had in store. The dragon returned to his side, curling around him protectively. Together they looked at the horizon, two beings bound by trust and purpose. The war would continue, enemies would return, but one truth was clear: humans were no longer the hunted. They were survivors. And with courage, intelligence, and guidance, they could change the galaxy forever.